Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals, and I am here going through how I set my 2020 goals and put in the bits I need into my planner. I'm just going to show you what I got first. So I've got these pens from Erin Condren. So these are from this Twilight and the Ocean packs, I believe. So I've got 3 purple, 3 teal, because that's sort of my colour scheme: purple, teal and silver. I've got lots of washi tape, so I've got these ones from Simply Gilded, this one from Colourful & Co. Tilly 10 will save you money, I don't PR, she's just a friend. And this one from Fox & Cactus. So that's those. So they're like materials. And the last thing I have material wise is this sheet of stickers, which I've made myself, these 2 sheets of stickers, sorry, with silver foil. So these aren't something I would sell because this isn't my hand lettering. This is a font called Sophia, and this font made me just think of the 1920s. It's called Broadway, I think. And then this is hand lettered in Cindy Gunterbaldo of Llama Letters is hand lettered this because I'm a patron of hers. So that's that sheet. Then I have all of the Mondays in 2020 on this tiny little sheet. They are really little, but that's fine. Then I've got my Erin Condren, which is my horizontal, my pre-planning everything planner. And then we've got Design Your Destiny, which was a workbook by Kimberly Job, who is also known as Sublime Reflection. So let's get on with it and show you what I've done. So I've filled in all of this workbook. I'm just going to talk you through it and then talk about how I've used this to work for me. So this is split into 5 chapters that you're meant to do like one a week in December. So it talks about, first of all, a review of the year. So this was where I just scribbled down some of my favourite memories from the year, spending time with my boyfriend, with my family, events I went to, countdown to Christmas, plan. And then 5 great things that happened was my boyfriend moved in, my nephew was born, plan, and countdown to Christmas. I went to Florida and I opened my shop. Then on this page, what did I accomplish or complete? Different things I accomplished. So I finished my foundation 1 year, we took the guides to Switzerland, GP wasn't my favourite rotation but I got through it. Helping plan, and countdown to Christmas, helping to plan is really hard to say. Got one of the rooms in our house decorated, finished last year's memory planner. Yeah, most proud of opening my shop in 2019, really am. Biggest risk was opening my shop and asking my boyfriend to move in. This page is sort of more about worries and things, my mental health, and then things around when Felix was born. How I changed that was that I'd talk to people, say I was struggling a bit sooner, things like that. I really like this. Sorry for the language if that offends you, but I do swear, so meh. It may be shit now, it may feel like it's never going to be okay, but it will be. I just quite like that quote. Then things that held you back. This is quite like raw and real for me. I don't like, feel free to pause it and read it, but basically I overcommit to some things. I don't necessarily talk about how good I am at certain things, I just worry about things. So yeah, so feel free to pause and read, but that's all I'm going to say on that page. Self and relationships. So this was about what you reached your goals and what you didn't reach. I don't even know what my goals were. Like, genuinely, I don't know. I was doing this at work when I was on call, and I just could not remember what my goals were, which showed how little I came back to them, which comes on to how we're going to pull this in this year. Top 3 priorities were my boyfriend and I, YouTube, this, and my shop. And I definitely did spend a lot of time on those. So these were the 5 people I spent the most time with. Granny and Grandpa is 2 people, so yeah. Yeah, this was more about relationships, people whose lives you impacted. So yeah, and people who are important to you, who you want to spend more time with, etc. I am the closest in the world to my mum and my boyfriend. Like, they are just the 2 people I am closest to in the world. Followed shortly by my sister, but I don't get to spend as much time with my sister. So this was just about how I impacted on people and how they impacted on me. This is about things that you learn about yourself. Basically, this is saying a lot about putting myself first in terms of my mental health and looking after myself, that I need a bit more balance in my life sometimes, because I sometimes work myself a little bit into the ground. Prep for countdown to Christmas and having a shop there is probably important. I also realised the job I want to do long term in terms of what sort of doctor I want to be, and that really came into being in 2019. So yeah, these are things that I want to leave behind. So putting myself down, just saying yes to things, taking too much on and overwhelming myself with that, saying I don't have time, because you always have time, it's just what you make time for. I want to stop apologising for putting myself first, or for, you know, being a little bit selfish, because you need to be selfish sometimes in life, and I am not at all selfish. It's not natural for me. I will always do things for other people. I sometimes pull out my eyelashes and eyebrows when I get stressed, so yeah, I want to stop getting really frustrated and upset when things don't work out, particularly with like foiling and things like that. I want to take some more time not doing things and not fill every single second, and I want to stop feeling like I'm failing even when I'm not. On to slightly happier things. So what makes you happy? What do you love? Like, this is just a really good review of the year, and I found this quite hard, but really like helpful for setting my goals. So I loved being surrounded by family, meeting new family and friends, moving in with my boyfriend, playing games, drawing, designing, being creative, having time to stop and breathe, focus on positives, creating for the shop, the jobs I enjoyed, and from that I took that I need to take a minute next year for family, friends, playing games, social, creating and breathing. So then start, stop, continue. Basically I want to start believing I'm important, take more time for myself and my family and my relationships generally, and bring more routine into my life. I want to stop blaming myself, apologising for everything and saying yes without thinking, and I want to continue to grow my business, doing guides and ranges and build on my future. So family is the gift I got from this year. That includes, I can include my boyfriend as family these days. He just is my family, but I would describe this year as busy. Then this is sort of just this year's timeline. So what happened this year? These are sort of the main events, different things I did. Yeah. So in this page we sort of say what you're proud of yourself for, things like that, what's important. So I was proud of myself for chasing my dreams with my shop and things, admitting I was ill again, at least to myself. I'm not like really depressed again. I'm starting to see little subtle signs of it, and I need to nip it in the bud before I get worse. I'm proud of my YouTube channel and the growth, gaining knowledge, doing the work with guides, that I will always help a friend in need. On to the next page. This is the second part, so this is brainstorming, so like having a think about what goals you want, etc, etc. So the first thing I did was ranked my life inventory. I'm not sure I 100% agree with these, but this is how I felt in that moment. Friends and family I rated as 4 because I don't see my sister enough, I don't see my friends enough. Family is probably generally about an 8 other than my sister. I wish I saw my sister more, and I wish I made more time for her. That's a real priority for me this year. But friends I'm awful with. I don't see my friends at all enough. Mine and my boyfriend's relationship is really strong, but there are always bits like we're not very good at going on dates and taking time for us, and I want to work on that. I don't really have... I have a purpose in life, but I'm not really a spiritual person. I don't particularly have a religion. It's not something so it was really hard to rate myself for that. Fun, I'm awful at taking time for myself and actually just doing things for fun, not things that so like my shop, my YouTube channel are for fun, but I've kind of created a business job out of them as well. So yeah. My finances are okay. I'm in a little bit of debt, as is everybody I'm sure, but I haven't made it a priority the last few months, so I didn't want to rate that higher than that. But in some ways it probably is far higher than that. Career, I'm happy with my career, but I'm applying for jobs and there's further to go. Health and fitness, it's just not a priority, and it's not been, and it needs to be at some point, but I don't think it's in 2020, not for me. Physical environment, I love where I live. There are things we need to do in the house. Personal development, I don't know why I only gave that to be honest, I'm great at personal development. I'm great at looking at myself and trying to improve things, because I do it every day. Every day I challenge myself to be better than the day before, so yeah. And giving and contribution, again, I should probably have rated itself higher, so I don't necessarily agree with these right at this moment in time, but yeah. So then I went through and brainstormed different goals, things I wanted to do. So I'm gonna run through them quickly. So contacting my friends more, meeting with more of my friends, replying to messages quicker, seeing my sister and my nephew more, spending time with my parents that I'm not doing things. Same with my boyfriend, that's here as well. Going out for meals with family, and reconnecting with people from uni that I care about, that I'm not very good at messaging or speaking to, that I do care about. Love, marriage and relationships, date nights, speaking together, doing money together, going on trips, and he wants to go skiing, so for Christmas I bought I'm going to pay for him to have a day on indoor slopes in the UK while I have a lesson. I've never been skiing and I'm terrified, but yeah. So spirituality and purpose, I really don't have strong goals on this. It's not important to me at the moment, so I spoke about my business instead. So I want monthly new releases, I want to hit 2,000 sales, weekly posts in my Facebook group, get to daily Insta posts or 5 times a week if I can't manage that, get my business accounts up to date, schedule posts on Instagram and Facebook, regularly post videos, but don't get stressed out about my business. It's meant to be a hobby, it's meant to be a side hustle and a hobby. Don't make it super stressful. Fun, take time for myself, do things just for me, go travelling, play games. Finances, actually keep up to date with spending tracker, pay off my debts and save. Career, get a job, ? Revise or do MRCP Part 1, which is one of the exams, and I want to book it this year. I don't know whether I want to do it. I want to do an audit or a quip and keep my portfolio up to date. Health and fitness, these are the things that are important to me. Getting a bit of yoga in my life, getting enough sleep, increasing my water intake, and reading the book I have about exercising. I feel like I've been talking forever. Physical environment, I want a tidy weekly. These are just brainstorming goals, so I'm going to actually stop there. You can pause and read the rest of them if you want, but yeah. Then, if you knew you could not fail, I got quite upset having done this because I realised there's nothing I wouldn't do. I really like where my life is, so I got upset that I'm not happier when my life's actually in a really good place. But depression. So, roles and goals. This is just where you pull out the important roles in your life and fill in what you want to be in those. Then, word of the year. I already sort of knew I wanted something about balance, having done the first set. I just knew I needed more balance, more perspective, yeah. And then I brainstormed words and I found the word equipoise, which, let me just pull up the definition, means a balance of forces or interests. So yeah, I didn't need to brainstorm words because I knew what I wanted. So then I just wrote about, if I live by that, it basically says I won't burn out. And this is just my little mood board. And then I didn't need to mind map it because my word of the year isn't about any one of my goals or about anything. It's balancing my goals and balancing my life and creating an equipoise. That's my overarching goal in all of this. So yeah, then we move on to actual goal setting. God, this is going to be like 3 million years long. So, pulled out my top 10 goals, which were grow my online presence and create a community to share planner stickers. And my aim for that is to get to 2,000 Instagram followers and 500 subs on YouTube. They are achievable goals. Like, that's what this is meant to be. I want to get to 2,000 shop sales, which develop my business to a point it's making money for my future. For guiding, be a present guide and ranger leader whilst keeping up with admin and fun. Take time to enjoy myself and relax. Develop relationships that are ever present with my family. blossom our relationship and improve intimacy in all areas. So that means like just closeness when you're sitting and watching TV together. Don't be sitting there ignoring each other. Don't be sitting on the computer doing things, ignoring each other. Be like, have that closeness all the time. Bring routine into all aspects of myself, allowing time for all priorities. That's my overarching goal, really. Develop friendships and take on active part in friends' lives. Be debt-free other than my student loan and ? Mortgage, because we might buy a house this year, but who knows. Via monthly budgeting. Work on decluttering and organising the house for maximum efficiency. So then you go through and you come up with excuses that might stop you doing these things. I'm going to just pause there for a sec so you can pause and read if you want. Same, that's it. Then categorising your top 10 goals into maintenance and projects. Then, because some things you just have to maintain and some things you have to work on all the time. So yeah, and then you set minimum, your target, and your outrageous aims for things. So yeah, that's that. You can pause again and read it if you want to. Then it says to write some declarations and incorporate them into your daily routines. I'd rather just look at my goals daily. I want to stick to these goals. I really want to work at them. So yeah. Then we have section 4. Action plan. We're getting there. So this is where I veer off course. She suggests for each of your goals you put 1, 2 and 3 small action steps to start off with. I've sort of done that, but these are my quarter 1 action steps instead. This is everything I want to do in the first 3 months, then I'm going to repeat this for quarter 2 and quarter 3. That's the plan. So this is my action steps, and we will come more into this later because this is one of the things I'm moving to my Erin Condren. Then asks you to look at your priorities, partly so that you can do this, which I haven't done. She suggests you make 10 goals for your 10 steps for your top 3 goals. I didn't do this because I don't want to focus on 3 goals. I want to focus on everything a little bit all year. That's balance, you know? So then takes it into planning. So this is where I properly veer off course because that's why I have a piece of paper. These small action steps, I split them into daily, weekly, monthly things, or things that just need to happen once. So that's what that page is. From that, I obviously didn't need to put the daily, weekly, monthly things in. Well, actually, some of the monthly things went in, but not all of them. And then I put each of those onto the weeks in January, February and March. So I've got the Monday of each week here, including a 5th week in January, because of when January starts. I put a couple of important events on to help out with that. So, and then I just scheduled them. This is also going to be moving into my Erin Condren, so we'll come back to that. Then we have the last section, which should be well quick to flip through because it's just like creating like tools for success. So you create a happy list, which I just wanted to do anyway. Talked about morning routine. I'm reading Good Morning Good Life. That's what GMGL stands for. So I sort of just put what I want to be doing at the moment until I finish that book and made a proper morning routine. My nighttime routine, again, I want to build a proper nighttime routine this year, but these are just my things I want to do at the moment. So they're just filling in my planner, brushing my teeth and washing my face, writing down 3 positive things that happen each day, having some cuddles and then going to sleep. Power habits, I don't want to, this is the same as my like daily, weekly, monthly things that I want to do, so she has that there instead. Then she asks you to come up with positive thoughts you'd like to think. I don't want to do that, that's just not me, so I've just left that. And then your ideal day, I don't want to create an ideal week schedule, I want to do it each week because my weeks are so different. And then the last page of this is the monthly review, which I might not do every month, but I might try and do it every month, to be fair. Review the month, say where I've got to with my things. I might not use this page, I might do something else. And then you also have I've photocopied these pages for the action steps. So I've been talking for 20 minutes, so my camera just cut out. But that is the Design Your Destiny workbook. So that's how we're using it. and what I'm doing with it. So now it's time to transfer some of this into my planner. So washi tape running onto screen there. We're going to start off at the front of the planner. Okay, so I decided to stop talking through and to take over with a voiceover, which I do decide in about a second. So here is from where I was meant to start this voiceover, but I went a bit wrong. So basically to stop this video being a million years long, because it's already 40 minutes without me not having sped this up and voiceovered it. So yeah. To start off with, I am writing my outlining my word of the year with the two of the four colours that I'm using. And as I said before, this was Cindy Gunter Bulldozer lettering, which I got because I am a patron of hers, and then I foiled it myself. So in each of these boxes, I am going to write one of my goals, which obviously I did run through before. I thought I would just talk a little bit in this voiceover about how I set my action steps. So obviously with my YouTube channel and Instagram, I'm not in direct control of how many people follow me or subscribe to my channel or how many sales I make even. I'm in charge of how many sales I make, as in I'm in charge of how much I push it and how much I push sales, but I can't actually make people buy. It's impossible. So all my goals are focused about what I can do to encourage people to want to buy my things or watch my videos. So one of the really strong things in that is that you have consistency. So all of the algorithms, YouTube, Instagram, Etsy, are really push you up if you consistently release new things, if you consistently put up new videos, if you consistently post photos. So that's what I'm aiming for, really, because that is something I can control, and I want to grow my channel and I want to get it. I want my business to be sustainable, and yet it probably is sustainable at the moment how I'm running it, but I'm not releasing new things, and I want to be, and I'd like to be at a place where that's a bit like, I find that a little bit easier to cope with, but because I'm releasing things so infrequently, it feels like a massive task. So I just need to get my head around releasing a small amount often rather than releasing tons and tons. And I've already started doing it to myself. My plan is to release, might even be today when you're watching this video. I think it might be. My plan, I think, is to release new releases today, and I was already thinking about doing 10 new listings. I don't know when I'm going to do that. To be fair, that's for other reasons, because my iPad had a little hissy fit and is broken at the moment. But anyway, besides the point. But yeah, I want to do the things I can control, and I want to be realistic about it, and it's not realistic to expect myself once or twice a month to release 10 to 20 items in 5 foil colours, because that's 50 sheets to make just for new releases, and I have to design them, and because I do every single design by hand, it's hard. It's a lot of work, and that's okay, and if I was doing it full time it would be easier, but I'm not. I have a more than full-time job outside of that. My contract is for more than what most people call a full-time job, because that's how medicine works. And not only that, but it's out of hours, plus I do the YouTube, plus I do guides and rangers and choir, and yeah, I do a lot, so I've got to be realistic about my time. So in the final box on this page, I'm just writing the dictionary definition of equipoise. I think that's how you say it. I don't really know. Oh, you can see my tripod in the stand. So I'm just finishing decorating it off with some washi. So I've just written out all my goals. Obviously I did run over those earlier, but I will talk through a bit more through my action steps when we move on to that page in a moment. Oh, sorry. I just whacked the microphone stand, but oh well. So I was opening up my planner to be able to share the action steps with you a bit better, which is, first off, we're actually going to start with a cover page. I was thinking of just putting that on the page, and then I was thinking of just doing a little stand for it, so just putting washi underneath it, and then I decided I didn't like that, so I decided to basically fill the page with strips of washi, and I love how this comes out in the end, so I'm really glad I decided to do this. So, because I think I'll run out of time if I don't start talking about them soon, I'm going to talk through my action steps for each of my goals. So my first goal is about the Instagram and YouTube. So what I want to do for goal 1 is post on Instagram at least 3 times a week. So far I'm doing really well. I've been posting it nearly every day, if not every day. I that's really what I want to be at, but I didn't know that was realistic at the minute, and I'm not sure it is because this week I'm struggling a little bit more. I edited my photos today. It's Wednesday today, so I normally take my photos on a Sunday for the next week, and I've edited today on Wednesday, but I haven't written the blurbs and things, and I don't have the mental capacity every day to do that, so I like to schedule them and then post them, because that is the only way for me to be properly consistent with them. But anyway, my aim is 3 times a week for this quarter, and then I want to go up to 5 next quarter, then 6, and then be posting on Instagram stories every day as well. Anyway, that's action step 1. Action step 2 is schedule weekly time to take photos, edit and film. I've always done this really, but I've not been realistic about how long it takes. YouTube videos and things take a long time to edit. They take at least, usually about twice the length of the actual video to edit, but it depends on the video. So like this one's been quite quick because the sped up bit I've just sped up, and the other bits I haven't really edited because I'm just talking the whole time, so there's not been really anything to speed up or anything like that. And then the third one is to stick to an upload schedule and prep for videos in advance. So what I'm aiming to do at the moment is I want my videos filmed 2 weeks in advance. So I tend to base things around weekends. So this weekend coming up, I should film not the next week's videos but the week after. So I've got them 4 videos filmed, and I should edit the next week's videos. So I'm editing this video today that's to go up next week. So that's on schedule. But over the weekend I want to schedule the video that's coming out when you're watching this next Monday and Friday, to me, a week on Monday and a week on Friday. No, 2 weeks on Friday. That makes sense? Anyway, so that's what I want to be doing. And I want to stick to my Monday and Friday uploads. Goal 2, I want to post weekly in my shop Facebook group. That may not sound like a lot, but it is because I've been posting so infrequently. So it's just to keep people updated that I've decided to follow my Facebook group and join my Facebook group. They want to know what's going on in their shop, so I want to be updating them, and I'm not very good at it. I want to plan and schedule quarter 1 and quarter 2, which I have actually done. That action step is completed. I know when my releases are, what sales I'm doing, what like special events I'm doing, and then I want to get my shop finances up to date. As of now, they are up to date. I did my 2019 accounts up to now, and then I'm just going to monthly sit down and work on my shop accounts. So I'm doing pretty well with my action steps for that so far. Goal 3, which is about being an ever-present guide leader. Again, I'm doing pretty well with this so far. So I wanted to plan this term for guides and ranges, which are done. And I want to schedule time at least every other week to take some time for girl guiding and for guide prepping. Sorry, I've not really edited this. I don't know why this big gap is here. I'm sure I will start moving again soon. I was probably sorting out pen colours, knowing me. And then I want to leave my phone in the box at guides. I'm a little bit bad at looking at my phone during guides, and considering that we don't let the girls have them, I shouldn't have mine out. So I want to be present and to be paying attention and not looking at my phone. So I want to leave that in the box. My 4th goal is about bringing in routine and schedule into my life. So I wanted to make my fun stuff list, which I'd actually done before filming this video, because I made it in the Design Your Destiny workbook this year. I want to design a morning routine with something fun in it. So at the moment, my morning routine, I do have a morning routine, but I'm reading Good Morning, Good Life, and I want to finish reading that, and I want to design a morning routine that I think I can stick to long term. And then my last goal for that is to schedule something fun every week. So it's about sort of taking time for myself and making sure I focus on me and not just everything else. Goal 5 is about my friends and family and my relationships. And so my 3 action steps are to take mum and dad out for 3 meals. As part of my rent, I meant to take my parents out for a meal every month, but we're rubbish at doing it. So I want to try and do that this next 3 months. I want to take them for 3 meals. That may not be realistic with my grandparents living with us, but you know. By the way, I'm just writing out my action steps at the moment, and then I'm going to write down my weekly, daily and monthly recurring tasks, just so you know what I'm doing. I want to text my sister weekly outside of the groups we're in. We're quite good at texting within the groups, but I want to speak to her. and I want to go and visit her, my nephew, and her husband, my sister's husband, not my nephew's husband, at least 3 times over the 2 to 3 times over the 3 months. Goal 6 is about my relationship, and I want to go on 6 dates with my boyfriend, so about 2 a month. And the next bit is to track my periods and sex. The third one is to plan and potentially take a weekend away or go on a holiday together. We just want some time for us, that's all. Goal 7 is, goal 7's about my routines, sorry. I should have said that before. Goal 4 was about making sure I took time for myself. Goal 7, so my 3 goals for this is complete the Yoga with Adrian Home 30 Days of Yoga Challenge. I am currently on day 14 at the filming of this video, and it is the 15th, so I am up to date, so we are doing well. I want to write down 3 positives before I go to bed every night, and I want to read and complete the exercises in Good Morning, Good Life, and then implement them. So implement a morning routine and try things out. So goal 8 is about friendships and how I develop my friendships. But before I move on to that, I'm just going to say on this page I am pulling in those weekly stickers, so the Mondays of the week, and I'm basically putting all of my action steps in that aren't recurring into a week. So this is like where I've scheduled when they're going to be. So for my friends one, I want to see Adam, which I've done, who's one of my best friends. I want to see Tasha, who is another of my very good friends, and I want to have text conversations with both Adam, Sweater, Tasha and Beth at least monthly. For Beth and Beth, that's outside of talking about plan. And that wants to be a conversation, not just like 1 or 2 texts either way. For goal 9 is sorting out my money. So first step was to sort out my 2019 finances, which I have done at the point of filming this video, so yay. I want to do monthly budgets and try and stick to them, and I want to do a monthly finance check-in just to check what I'm doing and how I'm getting on. Pretty self-explanatory really, that goal. And goal 10 is about sort of harbouring space that I really love. I will read over my goals again in a second for you if you want me. Well, no, I probably won't actually, because I don't know how much longer I've got to talk for. Not very long. But anyway, goal 10. So for this is like about having an environment that I love. So the first part is to do a weekly tidy of our bedroom, and we have our own living room in my parents' house. So those areas. I want to organise my stationery drawer and my desk drawer, because they are 2 drawers that I've just kept shoving stuff in and they need sorting out. And then I wanted to finish sorting out my mum's bedroom for my grandparents to move in, which we have done. But I also want to empty 5 of the boxes that we have just shoved in the dining room at the minute from the mess in there. So they are my goals. So from that, I took the things that I needed to do daily, weekly or monthly. So my daily ones, I want to try and post on Instagram. It's not going to be daily, but that's if we have that. I want to do my period and sex tracker. I want to do yoga or my morning routine, or both. So yoga is currently part of my morning routine, so that's why they're together. And I want to write down 3 positives a day. So that's every day. It's completely and utterly manageable. Weekly, I want to do a post in my Facebook group. I want to take my Instagram photos. I want to leave my phone in a box at Rangers and Guides. I want to do something fun for myself. I want to message my sister. I want to tidy our bedroom and living room, and I want to do a quick goals check-in. So basically looking at this list and seeing what I need to do in the next week. For the monthly, so once a month, I want to text Adam, Sweater, Tasha and Beth and Beth. I say the Beths because I never have enough lines to write both of those. Then I want to do my budget and a budget check-in. I want to make a YouTube schedule and look at my shop finances. So that is my daily, weekly, monthly things. And then this page here is basically just a split of all of those action steps that I've just been talking through, split into my goals. And I must be pretty much there. I can't actually see how much more of the video I have to talk for, but the only thing I've got left to do is decorate with a bit of washi, and I just put a tracker for contacting people in the bottom little corner with a box for January, February and March, just to use up that little bit of space really, and then I fill up the space on the right with some washi tape. As you can see, I'm loving using washi tape. These pages aren't necessarily exactly how I imagine them in my head, but it doesn't matter. They're there to be functional, not to be pretty. And yeah, I wanted to make them a bit prettier, and they are pretty, particularly that cover page. And I actually really like my action steps page. It's just this page I'm not as happy with as I'd like to be. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, and I'm going to hand back to Behast Tilly with the finished spreads. So they are my spreads for my quarter one goals. So we have my cover page for goals generally, and I really like how this came out. So that's that. Then we have quarter one title, then we've got action steps first, so they are each of my goals with their 3 action steps for the first quarter. They're then split down either into recurring tasks, which are here, or my weekly goals. So each little week has a section, and in fact I can tick some of these off for this month. I've actually done that. Done my Jan budget from this. I've read this week's chapter, Adam, and that's done. So I've done all the first weeks, and we are working on the second weeks. Trying to work out what colour that is. So the plan is to check in with this every time I set up a week, as well as checking with this little list here. I would have liked to have a habit tracker for each of these, so I've got these for the monthly tasks that aren't scheduled. So my YouTube schedule, shop finances, budget and budget check-in are scheduled in one of these weeks here, but the texting people isn't, so that's just a little tracker for January, February, March there. In fact, I might just put JFM for January, February, March. So that's that, and then at the front we have this spread, which I'm not as happy with as I'd like to be, but there we have it. So this is each of my goals. They are not in order, which is going to be a little bit confusing, but that's fine. So yeah, that is how I have set up my 2020 goals in my planner, and how I set my goals. Sorry for the super long video. I will have sped up all of the setting up of these pages, so I hope it wasn't too long, but I talked through that booklet, and I hope it helps you understand. I will probably do a quarterly check-in, or at least I'll try to, and set up these pages with you again. If this video gets a good response, let me know down below if you want to see me setting my quarterly goals. I could even talk you through how I come up with my action steps if you would like. Let me know down below. So yeah, the idea of this is to try and keep it at the forefront of my mind and not just forget about my goals like I did last year. So just check in with this at least once a week, check I'm doing everything I should be. So yeah, and then these 4 things are going to go onto my habit trackers, so that they already are. So we flick to December. My habit trackers are fill in my tracker. Then the other ones are yoga and morning routine, so it's yoga this month, and 3 positives. They are 3 of the 4 monthly things on my habits list, and then the 4th is on my weekly spreads. I always track Instagram on my weekly spreads. Now I've done this, I'm going to sit down and set my January goals. Like, I just want 4 little goals based off of my weekly goals, and yeah, that's it really. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you liked watching me fill out these pages and talk through how I set my goals. Yeah, hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!